White flag raised. And that off over 3 miles in the day's first grade one, the Channor Real Estate Group Novice Hurdle. Back Me or Sack Me just leads Stellar Story on the run of the first, followed by Lecky Watson on the inside of Better Days Ahead. Dancing City to the outside of High Class Hero. Settled in the back marker is Cuted Deza. Flight number 2, Back Me or Sack Me, and Stellar Story, little between them. Followed to the third flight by Lecky Watson. After the hooded Lecky Watson is Better Days Ahead, and then High Class Hero with the final couple, Dancing City and Cuted Deza. Flight number 3, the end of the back straight. And it is Stellar Story, just landing in front from Back Me or Sack Me. Followed out of the far side by Lecky Watson, who's yet to relax, and then Better Days Ahead. On the inside, High Class Hero, and then Dancing City, bidding to win his third grade one of the season. He's one from last, and finally, Cuted Deza. Heading for the flight along the side of the track, number 4, Stellar Story, leads marginally. Back Me or Sack Me, Lecky Watson third. Better Days Ahead on the outside of High Class Hero, and then Dancing City and Cuted Deza as they rise of this flight. Better jump came from Stellar Story. As they turn into the straight the first time, a little more than 2 miles to go from here. Stellar Story outstayed them on the Albert Bartlett, turns in 3 parts of a length to a length up on Back Me or Sack Me and Lecky Watson, who's now up to dispute the second spot. Still full of the joys, and then Better Days Ahead, High Class Hero, Dancing City, the check colours. Back marker is Cuted Deza, heading for the flight in the straight and the last one next time. This grade one Novice for stairs, and it is Stellar Story and Jack Kennedy from Lecky Watson, Danny Mullins. Back Me or Sack Me is moved to the centre and Donna Myler, then Better Days Ahead, Danny Gilligan. High Class Hero, Sean O'Keefe, with the final couple, Dancing City, Paul Townend, Cuted Deza and Brian Hayes. Finishing next time. The circuit in front of them. Stellar Story by less than 2 lengths to Lecky Watson and Back Me or Sack Me, and then Better Days Ahead, who's in between Dancing City and High Class Hero. At the field trailing is Cuted Deza as they go uphill to the next flight. Stellar Story into it. Lands less than 2 lengths in front, Back Me or Sack Me. Was almost back on terms, then Lecky Watson, Better Days Ahead. Dancing City has picked off his stable companion, High Class Hero, who's now one from last, and whipping them in is Cuted Deza. Uphill they go to the next. Stellar Story, Back Me or Sack Me, continuing 1 and 2, and then Lecky Watson, Better Days Ahead jumped closer, then Dancing City, High Class Hero and Cuted Deza as they race downhill to the flight, bring them towards the point at which they started. Stellar Story with the edge from Back Me or Sack Me, third Lecky Watson, and fourth is Better Days Ahead, winner of the Martin Pipe. Racing together, Dancing City and High Class Hero. Still trading the field is Cuted Deza. The flight at the bottom of the track, Stellar Story, landed the fractional leader from Back Me or Sack Me. A length off them in third is Lecky Watson. The fourth is Better Days Ahead, racing together. The stable companions, Dancing City and High Class Hero, with the back marker continuing to be Cuted Deza. At the completion of the circuit, heading to the first of 3 flights down the far side. Another 5 left to jump. Matching strides. Stellar Story and Back Me or Sack Me, a couple of lengths clear of Better Days Ahead, who joins Lecky Watson for the third. And then Dancing City, High Class Hero and Cuted Deza, the flight which was their first. Directly across from the stands with just over a mile to go. Stellar Story, Back Me or Sack Me in the light blue colours. Better Days Ahead, Lecky Watson come next with Dancing City and High Class Hero. At the tail of the field is Cuted Deza. Continuing to the third and final flight in the back straight. Stellar Story, Back Me or Sack Me, still precious little between them. And Better Days Ahead on the inside, Lecky Watson and Dancing City. High Class Hero, and a reminder for Cuted Deza last of the field, who turn out of the back straight It's just over 5 furlongs to go and 2 flights to jump. Good run of the second last. Stellar Story by Nick to Backmere Sack Me. Lecky Watson, Dancing City on the outside of Better Days Ahead. High Class Hero and Cuta Deza, but they're very tightly grouped. Less than 5 lengths covering them, heading for the second last. Stellar Story, Backmere Sack Me. Arriving on the outside is Dancing City with Better Days Ahead. This quartet covered by less than 3 lengths, then Lecky Watson, High Class Hero and Cuta Deza. Mistake there by Backmere Sack Me and falls away. 3 furlongs to race and 1 flight left to jump. It's Stellar Story, challenged by stable companion Better Days Ahead. On the outside, nudged up to the pair is Dancing City, and then Lecky Watson in touch as High Class Hero, leaving behind the other pair. Backmere Sack Me and Cuta Deza into the straight. They're heading for the final flight. Better Days Ahead from Dancing City in the centre. High Class Hero begins a run on the outside. Stellar Story on the rail, trying to fight back. Then Lecky Watson. It's Dancing City who takes it up, approaching the final flight. Dancing City over from High Class Hero, a slight mistake, and then Better Days Ahead, Stellar Story and Lecky Watson. Dancing City, High Class Hero is not going away on the outside. Dancing City is keeping on strongly from High Class Hero. Dancing City a half too good for High Class Hero. Back in third was in the red cap Better Days Ahead, and then Stellar Story and Lecky Watson as Dancing City narrows the gap to 5.
Paul Tannant has just won the Grade 1 Channor Real Estate Group on Dancing City, a horse that's tremendously tough, isn't he?
Tough, probably even a little bit deceiving, because he's danced every dance this year, and I thought I'd emptied him, I got to the bottom of him in entry, but he's bounced back out of it like a good horse. You need a lot of ability to do that.
I suppose you looked at Mystical Power and hoped that, because he backed it from entry, and you'd hope that Dancing City could do the same. Yeah,
different distances, I suppose, and things like that, but you hoped. I couldn't leave him behind me. I was fearful of the second. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt for Cheltenham, but no, he's a good horse, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really tough attritional Sefton, wasn't it? How did he cope with the better ground? He looks like he's quite versatile.
Yeah, no hassle at all. I missed the start a little bit. I'd planned on being a little bit closer, but I was happy where I was, and leaving the back, he came on it nicely, and he's actually quickened up nicely and had a little look in front then, and look, hopefully he can keep improving away, because he was disappointing his first couple of runs.
Yeah, he's going to make a nice chaser, isn't he?
I think so, and just the way he races is a help for them staying horses.
From your perspective, I'm guessing you needed that after the Blizzard of Oz and Mr. Giff.
Look, they're hitting the crossbar, so it'd be worse when we were lying at the back of the fence yesterday. I thought my luck was in on Mr. Giff, and we just got run out of it, but yeah, that's it.
And Blizzard of Oz, do you feel, had he not made that blunder, you might have won?
At the time, in the moment, I thought it was coming to lay down a challenge and maybe win. From what he done from the mistake to the line, maybe he made the mistake because we were coming to the end of our tether. We'll never know, but I thought it was coming to lay down a good challenge.
Okay, well, you've floated it back to 5 now, the deficit between you and Jack, so best of luck for the Punchestown Gold Cup.
We'll need it all, thank you.
Thank you.
Really good performance by Dancing City to gain a third Grade 1 success here today at Punchestown. 19 days on for that great win at Aintree. Willie, well done, that was a really good performance today again.
It was, it just shows how tough he is, because he'd been to every cockfight, Dublin Racing Festival, Cheltenham, Aintree, back here. That takes a lot of doing. It augurs well for the future going over fences.
He looked extremely well in the ring. You couldn't see the run, I thought, at least a recent run in here today.
Yeah, he did quite well coming back from Aintree. We haven't done that before, Cheltenham, Aintree, Punchestown, but it looks achievable, so we might do more of it in the future.
Has he surprised you?
He has. Sort of disappointing last year, but then again, when you look at his bumper here last year, I think he was second to Slade Steele, and the first 3 home in that bumper are all Grade 1 winners this year, so it worked out fantastic. And he didn't show how good he was until we went out and tripped out to 3 miles.
Must be delighted with the run the second back on a sound surface.
Sorry?
You must be delighted with the run of the second horse back on a sound surface.
Yes, High Class Hero ran very well. Looked for a minute there that he might upset Paul, and the way Paul's luck was going today, I thought, oh no, but he got his winner on the board anyhow, and hopefully another one later on maybe, but he ran very, very well. Disappointing at Cheltenham.
Upcoming racecourse champion bumper, Jasmine DeVoe, very good at Cheltenham.
He was. He seems to have gears. Hopefully he'll use those again today. To look at him, you know, he mightn't be everyone's cup of tea. I think he's a lot of maturing to do, but he has the ability to gallop anyhow.
And of course, the feature racing today, that Punchestown Gold Cup. How has Galloping the Champ been?
We've been very happy with Galloping the Champ. He's had a tremendously busy season. But he comes here today in good order and, you know, ready to take on fast or slow and whoever else is there. So, you know, it's fast or slow's track. He's beaten us here twice. But we're going to do it. We're going to give it our best shot on here.
Great stuff. Well done again there today.
Thanks very much. Cheers, Fran.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.